So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another scene for Nightfall in Amsterdam, the werewolf venue, where after the disastrous events that have led to Valka being brought to Sept, Grace has done everything in her power to settle him in, to make him comfortable, make sure he's fed, make sure he gets sleep, and, well, what else can she do for him, really? So she is perched out just in one of the open areas of Sept, probably plopped down on a rock or a bench or whatever have you, and just looking, not anywhere in particular, just kind of off and flipping a little wooden shamrock over and over and over in her hands, rubbing idly at it. And this is how she will be discovered.
Runa, for her part, as she approaches Grace, she looks fairly disheveled, rather dirty, a little bit bloody, like she's been out in the woods, and she's got a rabbit with her. It's not moving, obviously. She'll see Grace, just plop herself down and say, "Hey."
There's a glance over. Oh, hey. Got yourself a
So,
rabbit, huh?
yep, gotta skin it and make use of it.
Of course. Otherwise, what's the point?
She'll look at Grace. How do you tell if a rabbit's foot is lucky or not?
A faint smirk. I suppose you could ask it.
I could, but this animal has lost the ability to speak, and I can neither speak to beasts nor spirits.
I'll do what most people do. Just make your luck. Is that the
Could
first
do that.
rabbit you ever caught?
Yeah.
And take the foot. Make sure you dry it proper so it doesn't get all nasty. And make it lucky.
She'll smile at Grace. I will. So, how's your luck been lately?
Oh, dog shit.
Oh, sorry to hear that. What happened?
Boy, no one's sorrier than me.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Things just didn't go according to plan.
you want to talk about it?
You said she's plunked down over next to her?
Mm-hmm.
Gets the hair ruffle. There's not a lot to talk about. It's just unlucky. It's a shame. It's a shame their family didn't keep up with them, though. Then this wouldn't have had to happen, would it?
Yeah. Or at least I hope that's what it is.
Well, she sits back a bit. Still idly, instead of flipping it over in both hands, takes the shamrock and just holds it in the one hand, rubbing at it with the thumb, just constantly circling the pad around it over the leaves. Well, it goes to reason that if a family keeps track of their kin, it actually teaches them what's going on. They don't make fool mistakes because they don't know any better, do they? And Lord knows when if if they become guru, at least they know what's going on.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be just the fucking thing?
that would be amazing.
And there's a lot of families I don't think I'd blame. What kind of Fiona lets their family slip through their fingers?
Probably the same as the kind of get that lets their family slip through their fingers.
A faint smile. Reaches out and pokes the end of her nose, just a little boop. We should all treasure our kinfolk,
We should.
but I tell ya, it's me and mine who'd go and scream from a rooftop, saying how much we love our kin, how they're the most important thing. And somehow I didn't know. My family didn't know. Baka doesn't know. I bet you half his family doesn't know. And how's that for treating family?
I have no idea how much of my family does or doesn't know. For all I know, my mom was also an unknowing kinfolk.
No, probably. It usually seems to be how it goes. She kind of goes back to just idly looking ahead. Just seems hypocritical, don't you think? To
Maybe
be the
it's
tribe that screams the loudest, and yet here we fucking are.
maybe it didn't start that way. Maybe it started with someone wanting better life for their kin, someone trying to let them be
Glances
just
over.
a normal person.
How long did it take you after going into that, what was it, the Gulf? How long did it take you to know he was kin? Catch a whiff of him, see it in his face,
Oh,
see
I
it, hear
smelled
it
it.
in his laugh.
I smelled it. At first, I wasn't sure if he was kin or Garou.
That's the thing. That's why we gotta keep him so close. Because if you can smell it, if I can see and hear it, anyone else can too.
That's why I figured I'd sit down at the bar and chat him up. Thought maybe I'd get his number. Thought, maybe it could be someone you knew or somebody else had already claimed, but why take that risk?
That's the thing. We're not the only ones who can tell. What about spirals? What about things that cross over, or other things that can sense it? You can't just let them slip right through your fingers. You can't pretend it's not dangerous if you just don't tell them.
Now, suppose one of these kin, the family tries to do what's best for him, and so they raise him knowing as little as possible because they don't have the smell.
It's a sweet story, but you don't go from none to what Bauka's got.
No, you don't. Not unless you meet with others who have more, and then they pass it on. And by that point, well,
And it's still cruel.
it is. But at least in that case, the intentions are good, even
A
if
sweet
they're
story.
mishandled.
Road to hell and all.
Oh, yeah.
She continues just idly, sitting on a rock. Again, just kind of staring off. Not at anything in particular, just off. And idly rubbing the thumb over the little wooden shamrock.
Bruna will take her knife out and start to field dress the rabbit. She'll say, you know, as much as it hurts though, everything that I've lost and feeling like it's my fault. How many guru start off taking ballet lessons every Sunday in their neighbor's garage?
Well, I imagine a good number, considering how many kin there are out there. If you really think about it, doesn't mean you have to not tell them. There's no reason a kinfolk can't go to ballet. No reason a kinfolk can't do any number of human things. There's nothing stopping them. But knowing it's important.
I guess there's.
Can't guard yourself from an enemy you don't know is there, can you?
I guess I just assumed that knowing meant you knew, you were close, and you stayed close.
A smirk and a glance. Not all knowing kin grow up on seps, Rona. We've met a number. And sure, perhaps they keep a little close. Keep their phones on them. Got us on speed dial. Maybe they have a tail in. Something that can snap lets us know they're in trouble. But knowing doesn't mean you can't have a life. Then someone just couldn't be fucking asked. She finally, stretches into the pocket with her other hand, pulls out her own rabbit foot, kind of laying off on thumbing the little wooden bauble. Still clutching it in the one hand as she thumbs the rabbit foot, looks it over, just starts turning it in her palm.
You think he's gonna change?
Don't know. Supposed to get someone to check out the pills. See if maybe they're pushing it under. At least we know he doesn't need them. And that's something. He knows he doesn't need them. It's even better. But no, I don't think so. Finally got a little mad there at the end. Still didn't look like he was going to change. I'm sure he's mad now. It's not building up for a change. At least I don't think so.
Fear was what shocked me into mine. Fear of impending death. And
Nah, none of it took root like that. She continues just kind of idly flipping the rabbit's foot in the one hand, kind of twining it over her fingers.
now that Runa's got the rabbit cut open, she's carefully, like, she'll pull a little paper bag out of her her out of her pocket and just carefully start, like, taking out the intestines and the other organs you don't really eat because they might be contaminated, and just putting them in the bag.
Oh, don't pierce the gut sac. It'll smell to high heaven. Careful.
Oh, I'm being very careful.
Glance over. Though again, there's a straight glance just to make sure she's doing it right, and then the eyes just kind of trail up again to that kind of resting point ahead.
And as they trail up, just over the back of Runa's shoulder, you'll see uh, not so much in the distance, but kind of far away. Uh, I see a figure walking kind of across. Doesn't seem to be walking towards you. Seems to be just almost that slow walk you do when you're just taking in the surroundings. He's wearing the dark brown clothes, kind of bits of grey here and there, but I guess what makes him stand out that little bit is you can see the hilt of that sword on his back, and now you actually see the other thing as well. Is he's kind of like a 45-degree angle to where you're looking at him. It looks like a fucking crude baseball bat, of all things.
Oh, all right. Not what she was expecting, but okay.
It seems to be walking along.
Oh, shit. You're right back. She stuffs the rabbit's foot into her pocket, keeping the wooden bauble in her hand as she hops up and kind of starts like that little jogging step. Gerard, can I have a moment?
And he stops, turns. What is it you need, Grace?
And I mean, she's pretty upfront about it. She offers a nod as he at least stops so she can catch up. And as she's coming up, there'll be like a pretty classical, like, I mean, we all know what a pill bottle sounds like. That kind of clattering noise. As she goes fishing into another pocket. And, pulls it out. If you would, Jeff, please. Just want to know if it's tainted.
And he'll just look at it, slowly raises an eyebrow. Just stares at him for those few seconds. It's almost like you just see something click, like, huh. There you go. Slowly nods. And I will make a roll.
Da-da-da.
Ta-da! Because I remember what it is, and I know I need to find my stats. Because stats. This is going to be hilarious.
Oh, please.
I might have the ability to do so. To mean I'm very good at it. It's diff 7, if I believe right.
It just depends on the strength, essentially.
I don't know. So, well, either way, that's at least 2. So, I don't fucking know, is it?
As far as I know, no. It is not.
So, he does it. The thing. The stuffing thing. Because I actually don't know what this is supposed to look like.
It's just you getting a sense of it. Whether it's you kind of seeing it or smelling it, it is up to you. But from what I can tell, it would just kind of look like you taking it in one way or another. That's why she's holding out on an open palm.
So he does. He takes the tapper from your hand, kind of looks at it, holds it up to the light, and just kind of twists it round. You could just actually roll me a perception alertness. Why not?
Perception alertness. Let me pull my shit back up real fast. I don't know why I ever closed it.
Yeah, a 1. You're not sure what. You saw something. As he held it up, it's almost like his eyes just kind of like they're kind of like a dark blue color. It's almost like they flickered to an ice white almost as he stared at it. But you're not entirely sure. You could see it probably. But you definitely fucking something caught your eye. He just looks back at you. These are clean.
She actually goes ahead and goes so far as to bow her head. Very subdued. And thanks. Much appreciated, Jeff. Thank you.
Is that all you require me for?
Well, I didn't think you'd want to be bothered, but I don't think there's much else I have that you can check. I don't know how interested you are in being anywhere near me. Or him.
Why would I be opposed to being near you? You have caused me no ill will.
There's finally like that idol, like the hand comes up and ruffles the back of her hair. Suppose I don't know. Probably overthinking it.
Unless you have caused me ill will and I have not found out about it yet.
Not as far as I know.
Then I have no reason to avoid your company.
Well, you're more than welcome to join us. She glances back. Luna actually seems to have figured out how to dress a rabbit.
Just kind of looks at Runa for a second. They're a decent amount of that. Not really far away, but yeah, definitely out of earshot. Looks at Grace. Looks at Runa. I shall accept your invitation once again.
Your invitation what?
I will accept your invitation once again. Hopefully this time there will be no beatings. Unless justly called for.
Corks a very faint smile. You're too kind. And yeah, we'll probably with that give a nod and kind of fall into step roughly alongside. She will actually, can't remember if I already did, actually hold out a hand for the bottle.
He passes it back.
Well, one less thing to be worried about.
Indeed. He starts walking over to where Runa is.
And Runa, perhaps surprisingly, perhaps not, is neither putting clothes on nor applying salad dressing to a rabbit.
Is she naked?
Runa herself? No.
Oh. I was going to say, like, wait, what? Did I miss something here?
The pun dressing a rabbit.
Stares in Silverfang.
Runa will see him approach. Ah, Gerard Raya, nice to see you again. I'd offer you a hand, but I'm wrist deep in rabbit and nerds.
You greet him. He stops in front of you and looks down. There is an intense stare.
She'll tilt her head to the side, show throat.
That is more acceptable, cub.
My
At
apologies,
ease.
Raya.
No apologies. Just make sure it is correct every time. Some may not be as lenient as I am.
Not gonna lie, as Grace is sitting and like he stops and stares for a hot second, there's just that tiny smile, his eyebrows go up like ooh, essentially. And by the time she's got herself plunked down, she'll even save Gerard some rock. Who doesn't want to share a rock? As she, glances over to see that Runa has caught on. A plus for her.
Runa will she'll quirk a half smile at Gerard. No offense intended by that, Raya. Hear a lot of Guru tell me that. And haven't met many that are lenient.
I did not sense any offense to be given. To learn it when you are young is a good habit. But if back in my home sept you did not, your throat would be open and bleeding.
And for what it's worth, Runo will catch, and that as soon as he's done talking, there's like the doink of a flick across her nose. If you're hearing it that often, it means you're not doing it that often.
Runa will look at Grace. I've not heard it because I've not been doing it. I've heard it when I've been commended for my good manners.
I revoke my doink.
I did forget myself now.
I unrevoke my doink.
There's just a look, and he says, "You were commended for something that is expected of you."
Oh, you haven't been here long. Kind of glances over, and it's purely sympathetic for Gerard. Like, oh, buddy.
Runa will just say, apparently there's a fair few guru on this sept that don't know how to introduce themselves properly, despite the fact they're no longer cubs. Now, I'd be willing to give them a pass if they were someplace public.
Ooh.
But
You're gonna give him a pass, Cub?
well, as a Philodox, introducing yourself in public as a guru could be taken as a litany breach.
Of course. Just more amusing at the fact that you think you need to give a Clea the pass.
She is not wrong. As a Philodox, it is her duty to uphold the litany. Even as a Cleath being questioned by a cub, if you are such things, for someone so young, then maybe you should rethink your rank as a Cleath.
See, I keep telling people, I know I'm a cub, but I'm still a Philodox.
But that does not give you a free pass to be, as they say, airheaded about such things.
No, it doesn't, but it means sometimes I gotta speak up and risk taking a smack for it. Because if I don't now, what kind of Philodox am I gonna be when I am a Cleath?
Indeed.
If I don't earn my alpha's respect, I'm not gonna be worth spit to him as a Philodox or a Get.
If that is what you believe, it's not just your alpha's respect that you need.
I need him to respect me. So, when I give advice, he listens. And he weighs it before he makes a decision.
Is it just your alpha's respect?
No, I need other people to respect me too. But if my alpha doesn't respect me, who else is gonna?
As he quirks a half smile and will finally plant his buttocks on the piece of stone left for him. Because yes, I like sitting on stones.
She finally, with a ruffle for Runa because, oh, look at you. All using your noodle. She'll glance across to Gerard. I suppose you've heard already?
I have heard many things, Grace. Which do you speak of?
Well, probably the most immediate current events. The game folk I was talking about last time is on Sept. Seems like the things you've been seeing all this time. Looks like it was spirits. See the gauntlet too? course, we haven't had him speak to Thayard yet, but at least something. Like knowing the pills are clean. Something too.
He's safe.
He's here. Of course he's safe. He's not happy, but he's safe.
He doesn't need to be happy. He'll learn to adjust, just like I did. And you did. And every unknowing kin does. I don't feel good that he's not happy. But that's not the most important thing right now.
That who is not happy?
Okay.
The kin?
Yes.
You brought him here.
Eric and I both brought him here.
There's just a nod.
We were worried he was on the verge of changing, so we brought him close already. But it seemed pretty clear that he was seeing spirits, not things of his own making, not things he was imagining. It seemed the safest thing to do was bring him here. Because if I can pick him up and Runa can pick him up, I suppose about anything could. I can only imagine what Magnussons would do with a kin, be able to do all that. So, he's here. He knows. Now he's got to learn. And hopefully, with enough learning, maybe a couple tailings, and keep living. She's gone back to idly thumbing the shamrock, flipping it over and over in her fingers. But no, I didn't do it myself. Ran everything through my alpha. Did it proper.
That is pleasing to hear.
It's an idle nod, just like, yep, it's good, essentially. Noddle.
I'm sure the elders will deal with him justly.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Feel like the hard part's going to be teaching him to adjust, understanding how we live, what we say and do, and what we don't say and do. We just gotta wonder what kind of family lets that slip through the cracks. Cause all, she glances over.
You blame the family.
Sitting and having to think about it. About, well, I was asking myself some questions. Really hard questions. Because of all the tribes that, of course, love their kin. We all cherish our kin. But we're the ones who scream it from the rooftops, right? Glances over. So how is it People like me grew up unknowing. People like Belka slip through the cracks. He's got other family, might be like him. The way he was talking. There's not a guru in sight to claim a one of them. There's no one watching over him. That she kind of shakes her head. Shuttle Lord we met. The one playing super double agent over in the other sept. That they found 2 leeches following Bauka to deal with them before they became a problem. Why is it there's a Shadow Lord having to skim problems off of Anakin's back?
At least someone did.
Of course. Just trying to figure out how we got here.
I would not concern yourself with the why. Just know that he is here now and he's under protection of this sept.
With all due respect, Raya, I think we can wonder about these things now that we know he's safe. Because we grew up unknowing ourselves.
Then, as I sit here, the statistics 2 out of 3 have grown up unknowing. Shows you how far Gaia's seed has spread.
The eyebrows kind of pop up a bit.
Worst part is, my dad didn't even know about me till after my mom died.
Jesus.
I think they just lost touch. Never spoke to him about it. Didn't ever seem to be the right time.
Feel like the conclusions were a fucking mess?
I know he wanted to keep watch on me from afar. So my life wasn't any more disrupted than it already was. But it still didn't stop something from finding me.
Nope. Just finally glance over. So what you heard? All you've heard since you've come here? Finally quirks an almost wry little, very half-hearted smile. What you think of this fine mess we found?
Bill, which fine mess, as you describe it, do you mean?
And let's see. We've got a cadre of leeches. Probably right here in the city. Probably in the tunnels underneath. We've got... She's sticking off on her fingers. The one group of silver fangs, killing any that's not themselves. Takes another finger. We've got the Magnusons, holed up in the frozen forest. Takes another finger. And of all the other things, we've got as far as I can tell, kinfolk that might have gnosis. Just wandering around the city and no one knew he was there. Grew up his whole life here. And still nobody knew he was here.
Oh, and don't forget the tainted fish.
Oh yeah, ticks off another finger. And a good 50 pounds of tainted fish that I still haven't been able to get to the bottom of yet. Been pulling every string I've got.
I see this as nothing other than a battlefield.
that's what it is, isn't it?
Each field is different. Each one is different. And I have fought on few, but my family has fought on many. The Von Brandt name, it comes from the term of the burned lands. Our family has known only battle and war, much like many others. Like many of the Fenrir, even the Shadow Lords. And much just such aspects. A war is won by fighting. A war is won by action.
Thoughtful frown. Well, fair enough said. Well said, even.
I know what I am. I do not expect the same from others. But I expect everybody to fight alongside, as we all have the same end goal.
If I can ask, Gerard, you're a Galliard? I've heard the tales of times long past, the old wars, fought against our own and others like us. How often is it anymore we have to go to war against Skyans?
We go to war against Gaians. Do we?
Well, I can say for sure that things are doing aren't Gaian.
Those who have renounced her holy name are no longer under her gaze. They may be Garu, but they are not Gaian.
Bruno will look up at Gerard and say, but there's the rub, isn't it? Sure, they've broken the litany, but we don't have a lot of proof that they have renounced her. Aside from their own actions, which violate the litany.
And as you will learn, Philodox, much more often actions speak louder than words.
As much as they do, I'd be just as interested to find out why. How did they fall to this point? What caused it? How do we stop it from happening again?
Questions are my job? Gives her a teasing nose poke. Important thing to remember, though. You don't have to be tainted by the worm to do wormish things. And that's what they're doing.
And because they are, the worm is stronger. So in the end, does it really matter if they've renounced her or not?
There you go.
We still gotta fight them.
And it will not happen again. Because when I am finished here, when I have done my duty, which I've come to this land for, I will leave. And I will spread, and I will sing, and I will howl the tale of their heresy. So all who know, all who draw breath, will know the crimes that they have committed against our holy Gaia.
So, are you an itinerant storyteller then? moving from step to step, telling the tales of things you've witnessed, battles you've fought in?
Perhaps one day. I am only a Cleoth.
But you still came here,
I
and
did.
you've still got tales to tell.
And I do. They will be told when there is a lesson involved.
Mm.
But if I reveal my hand entirely, then what is the point? It's not just about knowing how to tell a story or a tale, to weave something. It's about knowing the timing on when to do it.
Sounds like an important thing you could teach cubs.
Sounds like an important thing I could teach galliards. Remember your auspice, Philodox.
I remember my auspice, Raya.
And do not make the same mistake the Metis made the other day.
Oh,
Ooh, there's a bristle.
I won't, Raya. Only tales I'll tell are the ones that are mine to tell.
It's just a slow nod. Like, yes, yes.
And of course, if I can help it, the first person I'll tell them to is to a galliard so they can be sung proper.
There you go.
And if not, well, there's plenty of galliards at the moots, aren't there?
Precisely. Now, I thank you for the company, Grace and Runa. But I must leave. My recess time has ended, and I have work that must be done to win this war.
A
Thank
sharp, polite bob of the head.
Thank you for indulging me, Raya.
You can thank me when the lesson is truly learned, cub. For now I have spoken words. It is up to you to action.
She'll nod her head.
And do not forget that.
I won't, Raya.
And he stands.
You know what? Grace will be polite enough to stand with, offering a hand. I know you don't need it, but good luck in your work, yes?
He grasps the hand. Doesn't say anything, just slowly nods. And turns and starts to walk. Again, you still can't get it as such as he turns, depending on how you two might think on it. He turns down. There's the sword in its scabbard, and then crude baseball bat.
It's one of those things that makes her kind of blink a couple times. She tries to look at it for a second, starts going cross-eyed, and just kind of shakes her head like, nope, I don't want it that bad. Glances down to Runa, gives her hair another final ruffle. Gonna go make a report to Eric. Behave yourself.
I will. And, I know it might seem like your luck's gone to shit now, but maybe some of it's just rubbed off on Balka.
Wouldn't that be a fucking trick? It always comes back sooner or later. Figure out how to make it. The real trick's making your own luck.
I'm gonna head back to the house, finish this up on the porch.
Good idea.
I'll see you at home, Grace?
I'm not so sure. We'll see.
Okay. Well, just let someone know where you're gonna be.
You really do like forgetting yourself? There's a little
Hey,
poke in the chest.
I learned that lesson the hard way.
You're not a ragabash? You can't get away with it?
No, I'm
Watch your
not.
sass?
But, well, what kind of guru would I be if I didn't look out for my packmates?
Well, you'd be an awful poor one. The real trick's making sure. You look out for him. What you do it proper. Asking's a lot better than telling. Especially when you're outranked. Finally, like, yanks her in for a noogie. Like,
Okay.
it's a pretty aggressive one. Like,
Okay. Please make sure you tell someone you're where you're gonna be.
oh! Well, that's awful, sweetie. You Runa. I think I will. Let's go overhead. Grinning.
I'm glad you like the idea, Raya.
She'll smirk as she finally shoves the one hand back in her pocket. The other one's still fiddling. Always fiddling. As she kind of casts about for a moment, as though she's having trouble settling on a direction. And eventually decisively orients herself that way and starts walking. Shall we end it there?
Yes, I think so.
Very well then. And I will say thank you, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. We will see you next time in another fine episode of Slapping Doesn't Work, so we're going to give the cub vicious noogies. The series.